So today here I'm just going to get started with how we can create a form in React.js. So in the React.js form we can create, but these are not the simple form as we having in the HTML. Here the form having some default internal state. As you have seen, we are doing the manipulation with the alphabet state, and there we are doing the things. So when it is coming to the React form, in the React form we having the two types of input controls. We having the uncontrolled values and we having the control values. Let's get started with the control form. So I'm just going to add a value for the forms validation forms.js. So React class component we creating over there. So let's say define the component name. You should make a habit to use in the capital letter. So now here to define the user form. What are the properties you're willing to define? What are the various validation you're willing to define over there? So with the help of the state, we can define it. Let's me use here, let's say constructor, and in the constructor, let me call to the parent class. And first of all, let's me define in the routing. So here, let me define here at routing level. So we having the forms. Okay, so let's see here how we can do it here. So this is the forms component which we imported at the top level. That's fine. Now let's come over here. So let's say we are just going to create a sign up page. So sign up page, what are the common use input control we are defining? So we can define here with the alphabet state. Let's say this is state, and at the state level, I can define my user form, because here we can have the multiple state. So let's say for the form, I'm defining the state. Now inside the user form state, we can have multiple fields. Let's say I'm defining now the things for the name. Now at the name label, we can have again multiple things. So we having, let's say first thing is your value, and at the name we'll have the validation as well. So it's your way how we're going to define. So let's say I'm just defining the validation for the name property over here. So for the name field, what are the various validation you're willing to define? We can define here. Let's say I'm defining here validation required true. I can define another validation min length, let's say 4. Then we can have a concept of max length, let's say 50. So this way we have defined the things for the name field. Now we can define these are validation. Now we can define the message as well. So we can have a message, let's say message is empty. So initially it would be empty, and validity also, it would be false by default. So these are the validation, like this is the way how we can show the error message, how we can check the validity for the name field we have defined over there. The similar way we need to define for another field as well. Let's say I'm just going to copy and going to define for another one. Let's say we having the email. So validation is required, and we having a email validation. Let's say email, it should be a proper email, then email true. So in HTML5 we having the required min length, max length, and the email. So don't think it's from our own. These are the predefined one we are defining here as if our fields, so that we can use over there. Same way I can define here for password. So it would be here for password. So for password, it should be required. And in case of password, I need to compare its value from the confirm password. Then message, then validity. Similarly, we will have the confirm password. So confirm password value is empty. Then compare it with password field like this way. It's your way, like how many you need. Let's say I'm adding here one more. That is I'm adding here for the contact number. So let me copy. I'm defining here for the contact. So value validation. Let's say it should be here number, and here I can define a regular expression as well, a pattern. So we can define a pattern here. So as a pattern, I can use. Let's say the number should start either 7, 8, or 9, and total number of digit should be here 10. So I'm just using here 9. So this is the first digit, and another 9 digit can be there. So let's say this is the pattern we needed for contact number. Now the similar way we can define here for the terms and condition as well. Let's say we having for terms and condition. It is a Boolean type. So I'm just using here false as a default value. Validation required, message empty, valid false, that's fine. And if you're willing to define here a field which is not required, so that also we can define. Let's say we having a field which one in fact are not required. it's up to you whether you're willing to define the value. Let's say address is, let's say here, optional. So value I'm putting here empty, and we don't have any validation on this one. It's like this way, valid. So this is the way we define our own way how we will validate the things. It's a simple thing. We just define a JavaScript object and there we checking it here. So now let's design the form, and after designing the form we will do it here. So I'm just going to design here a form using the bootstrap. So we having a bootstrap, so it would be here, let's say React forms validation. So we having the React forms validation. So type, let's say text box, class name full control, it's fine. I'm just going to simplify it. We don't need any help. I would be, let's say, sign up. In this way I'm getting it here. So I forget to connect here. So it is here, let's say forms and forms. So this is the way how it is looking like. Okay, what is the issue with the design now? Input I submit. Okay, it is because of checkbox. Okay, I'm putting here a label. So let's say it is here acceptance. It's now proper. There is no issue here. So ultimately it was not required. It was fine. Okay, for design, for giving the gap, it's actually required. Okay, perfectly. We getting the things now. Okay, now let's see. It is for name. So let me first complete with one. Then we will do with others as well. So for the name, obviously we will use here now state. For the value, let's say we having the value, we just use here name, then value, let's say name dot value. So we having a text box name. So let me define the text box name as name over there. Then we will have here on change event. So on change event, I'm just going to capture here. And in the on change event, I'm just going to define here a handler, which we will call it. So this dot change handler. So change handler I will define here. So let's say I'm passing the event, I'm passing the text box name. So define here change handler. In this way, I'm defining here change handler. And here I'm just receiving the event and name for the text box. So here we having the things. So here what we will do here, we will just one more thing to define here. Let's see, just define here a let. At the let label we will access the things, not here, like here. Let define the variable name. Let's say name, we having the email, we having the password, we having here confirm password, we having the contact, which we define at the top levels. So all of them just going to get out from the state. Let's say this dot state and then user form. So from the user form we are extracting, and actually same we are using over there, name dot value, name dot validation, name dot required, name dot min length. So from these values they will come. Now it would be here address, it would be here terms, this way. So all of them from the state forms we just access now. Now this is the way value I'm getting here, name dot value, and in the on change event we are just going to capture them. So in the change handler, what I will do here, I'm just going to define a new variable, a constant, where actually I will keep the form element state. So I'm just doing here, let's say update it. So let's say updated user form. So whatever the state we having, we will keep here. So this dot state dot user form. So I'm using here the ES6 syntax. In the ES6 syntax, if you're going to keep this complete user form value into this, into a new variable, so this is the syntax we can use over there. So I don't need to copy the things one by one. This is the way I can assign the things to new variable. So benefit of this approach is here, whatever this variable will have its own value. After that, we are just appending the new fields over there. So this is the one we are using over here. The operator name, I'm not able to recall what it is, the operator name. So this commonly we use in the array, and this commonly we use in the object as well. Similar way, I'm just creating here the updated state about the form elements. So I'm creating here two things. In one, we having the complete user form. Another one, we having the a particular element, a particular input control. So updated form element, this I'm defining here. So same way, I'm just going to this time from this updated user form, I'm just going to access the particular property. So using the name which we are passing, we are just going to retrieve it. So what happening here, I'm not going to modify the actual state. What are the manipulation we are doing? The manipulation we will do on this new field, or you can say on this new variable. So from the new variable object, we just retrieving the name field. So in JavaScript, we can access an object property as an array syntax as well. So this is the way how the object key you are passing and that value it will provide to us. So what are the name we set over there? Like these are the things we set to the name. So these we will access using this syntax. So now here in the change handler, what we will do here, we will check the form validity, whether the form is valid or not. So form validity, what we will do here, we will define a separate method, check validity, and there we will write the code. Check validity. So I'm just going to check here validity here. So in this case of, I will pass 3 parameters, element, then name, and then state. Based upon that, we will check the validity. So here I will call this check validity 1, and here I'm just going to pass it. So let me use here, just check the validity for a particular element. So updated form element, then check its validity, whether it's valid or invalid. So I'm just going to call here the method check validity, method check validity, and the check validity we having this element, then name. So what the name I'm receiving, and then state, then do pass here is state. So these 3 things we are passing from here. Now here in check validity, we will write our code, our logic to check the validity. So here for checking the validity, let's say I'm defining here a variable is valid. As we define a global variable, and what are the element we are having, that element having a set of rules. So let's for rules, I'm defining here an array. Then from the element, let me get the set of rules. Because these are the rules we having. So these rules we are going to pick up in this rules 1. Now here, let me check, do we have rules at this level or not? If there is no rule, then return this is for those element which does not contain any validation. If there is a rule, so rule we can have the different types. Now here do check if it is valid, because by default I'm considering it as a true. Let's say it is valid. If let's say it is valid, and now let's do check all the rules, which rule required. So write the required validation. And now here, if you're looking at here the element value, so element value is here a string, and element value can also be a Boolean type. So there would be the multiple type of value. For some it will be string, for some it will be the Boolean. So let me get the type of value. So element dot value. So if it is value, let's say this is string. If type is coming string, that means the element value is a string type. Now for the string type, we will define the error messages. Like we will compare the value. So we can compare the value here is valid equal to. So we are setting the validity. So how the validity we will check. So make sure element dot value. Then let me use string method, so that there is no space. If it is not equal to empty, if it is not equal to empty, then and valid is also valid, then it will get the value. So it is just like a if statement. Actually, if you're looking at here closely, it's as we have been, if element value not equal to empty and it is valid, means valid is also valid, because a simple can have the multiple validation. So here is valid can be true or false. One of the value it will set. Now based upon the set value, whether it's is valid is true, like is valid is false, we need to show the error message. Let's say is valid. If it is, let's say false, means it is not valid. Then show the error message. So element dot message. So the message, if you're looking for a common style, so I can use here the text box name is required, else element message would be here empty. There is no error message. Then we having here updated user form. Then I can keep here, let's say name, then updated element. So finally what I'm doing here, whatever this element we having, this element value now we are updating. So now we are checking the valid state, whether it's a valid or invalid. So what are the state it will have? Now let's update it at this form label. So this element state we check first. Now at this constant field, we just updating the value. And finally, it's set into the state. This dot set state, and we are just going to set here user form and updated user form. So what are the variable we just kept here? That variable we just updated at the state level. So state we are not manipulating directly. We just doing the manipulation through these 2 variables, and finally update the state, whether it is valid or whether it's invalid. So now what are the text messages we are having, we can show over here. So here now I can show the text messages using the span. So let me use here class name So class name would be a text dash danger. Then show the error message. So the error message would be a name dot message. And one more thing we need to write here. We need to add here a one more thing. Let's say updated form element, then value. So value we need to check here. Let's say event, then target, then value. But here we having the checkbox also. So we can have two types of text boxes. Let me do check event dot target, then type. If type equal to checkbox, then assign the check, because the checkbox having the checked value and the text box having the value field. So depending upon the type of the input control. Okay, so let me define for this one also. I think it is giving the issue of because of this one terms. If let's say, okay, it is as an object, I'm reading it. Okay, so now let me complete the things for others also here. So now validation we have done here. Now only the validation we need to show at the submit button click. So if you want to show the error messages at the submit button click, so let's define here a handler for the submit button as well. So let's say I'm using here on submit. On submit, let me define here this dot submit handler. So as we write the code for change handler, same way we write the code for submit handler as well. So it would be here submit handler. At submit handler, all the checkbox, sorry, all the input text boxes we need to check. So first of all, let me prevent the default behavior of the form. Prevent default. Then same way, constant updated form, get all the form elements. Now here, let me define here same way. I'm just going to check here form validity is valid equal to true. Now we will use here a for loop. I'm just going to here a for each loop. Let's say where name in this dot state dot user form. Now let's same way, let's let updated form element, and same thing as we did here, the value and validity. The value and validity, but this time it would be here this state. So this dot state user form, then name dot. Now same way validity. So updated form element, name, and this dot state. And finally, let me update the things as we updated over there. Name. Now form is valid equal to updated user form. Then what are the element we having over there? If it is valid and form is valid, this value we just checking over there. It's a keep running for each control and will let us know what is happening. Now here finally do check if form is valid, then show in the alert box form is valid. Form is valid. This way. And finally, when it will enter the name, let's say Mohan, email, let's say mohan@gmail.com, password 1234, contact number, address, and sign up. Now form is valid.